you do not have a valid verification file. Please contact our sales support team to obtain a valid license. Apple iPhone 6's review. Introduction. It's how the saying goes. And you know, it's not about Apple and the iPhone at all. It's where the industry has been heading for a while now. In the race for screen size and processing power, the major makers' flagships are like pro athletes finishing within milliseconds of each other. To get an extra edge, one does waterproofing and a few others follow. Same with bigger and sharper selfies, wireless charging, curved or borderless screens, whatnot. Apple iPhone 6s, a certain type of players would rather lose than be in a crowd of winners. Others don't even play games they can't win. We guess we all know where Apple is. With a single iPhone a year, 2 as of late, Apple is the kid that skips classes but aces the tests. The wild card player that goes on to win the tournament. The team that doesn't play qualifiers but goes to the World Cup. Wouldn't we all do less and make more? There goes the iPhone 6s, off to a familiar start. The same on the outside but trying to pose as the most important iPhone since the first one ever released. Apple iPhone 6s, the new iPhone, being an S model, naturally comes with more power under the hood, but also brings the long-awaited camera upgrade. The main camera now uses a 12MP sensor capable of 4K video recording as well as 1080p at 120 fps. There is a brand new 5MP selfie camera too. And it's the same screen size and resolution, but we think it's exactly what Apple meant with the only thing that's changed is everything. Key features: metal unibody, 7.1mm slim, 143 grams of weight, LTE connectivity, Cat6, 300 Mbps downlink, 4.7 inches 16mm color LED backlit IPS LCD of 750x1334px resolution, 326 ppi. 3D touch technology recognizes levels of pressure, brand new taptic engine for better feedback, ion strengthened glass, oleophobic fingerprint resistant coating, dual-core 1.8 GHz Cyclone 64-bit CPU, 2 GB of RAM, Apple A9 SoC, Apple EOS 9, 12MP f/. 2.2 camera with True Tone LED flash, phase detection autofocus, 2160p at 30 fps, 1080p at 30 fps, at 60 fps and at 120 fps video recording, 720p video recording at 120 fps and 240 fps, 5MP f/2.2 front-facing camera with BSI sensor and HDR mode, 1080p at 30 fps video, comes in 1664 and 128 GB of built-in storage, second-gen Touch ID fingerprint sensor built into the home button, barometer sensor for tracking elevation, 1715 mAh battery. Main disadvantages: no microSD slot, pricey memory upgrades, 32 GB version should be standard for such an expensive phone, protruding camera lens, lacks the optical image stabilization of the iPhone 6s Plus, NFC functionality limited to Apple Pay, no wireless charging, an infrared port, or FM radio, no waterproofing, no user-replaceable battery. The first iPhone heralded the arrival of capacitive displays and multi-touch technology. The iPhone 6s is the first to have 3D touch, a screen technology that recognizes different levels of pressure for an extra dimension of interaction with a device. A late tribute perhaps to resistive screens, which Apple itself sent to their doom. Not a particularly scientific statement, although resistive technology did rely on actual pressure to work. Good enough for anyone with a penchant for the dramatic. But if we are to stick to the facts, the iPhone 6s isn't the company's first device with a pressure-aware display. The Apple Watches. Plus, phones like the Huawei Mate S and the ZTE Axon Mini do deserve at least a mention. Anyway, this only highlights the difference between Apple and the rest. Cupertino has the habit, and in fairness, the capability, to pick a technology niche and make it mainstream. Apple iPhone 6s, so, the pressure-aware display and improved imaging are the big news about the iPhone 6s. We've pretty much come to take the next OS and chipset version for granted. Sure, We all know better than to expect a memory card slot and access to the battery, but we just can't agree with Apple's decision to stick with the 16 GB option as base instead of 32 GB, which is actually not offered at all. 4K videos and the live photos, with sound, will clearly need more space than before. Apple iPhone 6s, and we can put it down as a typical Apple quirk that they snubbed things like water resistance and wireless charging but somehow couldn't resist the selfie thing. Oh well, there'll be more of those as we go. Our 64 GB iPhone 6s is popping out of the box right after the jump,